हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू सही बात है विद आशी एंड मोहित। एंड आज का जो हमारा पॉडकास्ट है वो है ऑन हार्ट हेल्थ। सो आज की जो हमारी गेस्ट हैं दैट इज डॉक्टर कुशाग्र मानसरिया, who has an expertise in cardiologist and preventive health care. And so Dr. Kushagra comes with an experience of more than 10 plus years in this field. And let's see, because ये बहुत ही ट्रेंडिंग टॉपिक है सैडली, बट यस ट्रेंडिंग है एंड हर आदमी को हार्ट हेल्थ के बारे जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप हार्ट अटैक्स कैसे होता है, हार्ट अटैक से कैसे बच सकते हैं, आज हम सब कुछ जानेंगे। एंड यस, वी आर एट BMW showroom. So thank you Titanium Autos for hosting us, and let's see what's there in store. Hi doctor, welcome to our SBH studios and welcome to our channel.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
And we are also happy that BMW is hosting us today.
Oh yeah, special thanks to them. I got a chauffeur-driven car that picked me up from the hospital and brought me here. All thanks to you.
Nice luxury drive. You had a comfortable drive.
Oh yeah.
So doctor, you come from a family of doctors. Your father is a pediatrician and he's very famous. And your wife is a breast cancer surgeon.
Right.
And you yourself, you're a cardiologist. तो घर में माहौल कैसा रहता है?
I am proud that both the doctors in my family are more famous than me. घर में माहौल, obviously, we have to talk shop. We try not to, but discussions होती हैं, है ना, mainly sort of in relation to the hospital. So ours is a charity hospital.
Okay.
It's a trust hospital. It's a very low cost hospital.
Rinchi.
Rinchi Trust Hospital. So running it in today's date, and at the same time keeping the cost low has its challenges.
Right.
So most of our discussions around the dinner table is regarding that.
And auntie balances it.
Ha. So she's the gravitational force.
So she's also very social and very active. socially.
Yes. She works primarily in education. She's a social worker and she's looking after education of underprivileged kids.
Yes. I've met her a lot of times for the ACL this thing.
Yes, I think your mother and my mother were very close friends.
Yes.
both
Both from Loreto.
both from Loreto.
So doctor, how did you become or how did you come into this profession?
So see, growing up in the household, subconsciously it creeps in, and you see your father who's been there and who's been at the forefront of what pediatrics in our city is today.
Right.
He was the pioneer of a lot of techniques that were brought to Ranchi, including the first ventilator, the first blood transfusions, so on and so forth, were performed by him in our city. And so, you grow up in that kind of an environment and, somehow, it does leave an impression. So subconsciously, I don't think I wanted to become anything else other than a doctor. Doctor बनने के बाद लगा कि यार हम बहुत कुछ कर सकते थे. But yeah, it was always there कि I have to become a doctor. There was no second thought. Never a second thought.
Right. And how did cardiology happen?
So cardiology happened during my public health days. I was doing a master's in public health. So I did a research during my MPH days with the primary cardiac institute in Armenia, which was called the Nork Marash Center. I ended up not taking that up further, but being there in that environment and then looking at the numbers and then looking at the public health numbers, it was clear that cardiovascular diseases, specifically diseases of the heart, the blood vessels, the brain, so on and so forth, are going to be the next big thing and the next big challenge for us to counter as a medical fraternity as a whole. So therefore cardiology happened. Pediatrics was one thing that I was good at, but I mean, my father is a pediatrician and I was good at it. So yeah, it was a choice between pediatrics or cardiology. Cardiology won.
And you never thought of moving out, maybe in this field, or in India se bahar, Ranchi se bahar?
So I was out.
Okay.
I was out. I trained in Armenia. I got a public health degree. I got a degree in business administration also. And I was working for the Ministry of Health. I was working mainly in the preventive health space. Epidemiology was something that I loved while doing public health, and therefore I was exploring options for a postgraduate degree in epidemiology also. But somehow, down the line, नहीं
You had
इंडिया
to come
वापस
back.
I mean नहीं, I not had to,
But
but
you chose-
हाँ हाँ मतलब इंडिया वापस आना है ना. It's you can go around and take education from all over the world, but कर्म भूमि और जन्म भूमि में अगर उसे नहीं यूज करेंगे then what's the point?
Great. Nice. So it's been more than 10 years.
Yeah, so cardiology, I graduated cardiology in 2014, so a little over 10 years, 12 years going on. I was in Delhi for some time. Then, just pre-COVID, we came back to Ranchi. Both me and my wife, we came back to Ranchi just before COVID hit.
Okay. And both of you met in the same.
Oh, no, it was an arranged marriage. It was a through and through arranged marriage.
Both of you doctors, right? So, what changes have you seen, over the past few years? Heart disease को लेके prevent मतलब what has changed?
Well, the clinics have gotten busier. The patients have increased.
Right.
They've gotten younger. And I mean, previously you would have expected, you would have seen a patient, you would have expected to find something in the patient from a cardiovascular point of view. These days, heart diseases are happening to everybody, and a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, lifestyle is to blame. Of course, genetics plays a huge role, but we like to say that the genetics loads the gun, but lifestyle fires the trigger.
So, like you said, genetics. So, according to you, if a family has seen somebody, passed out through a heart attack, probably, do you think there'll be similar cases in the house?
So, you see, you can't outrun genetics, right? You can't outrun age, you can't outrun gender. Those things you cannot change. But those account for a very few number of actual cardiovascular diseases. So, there was recent data by the Indian Council for Medical Research, the ICMR, that was published. So, it says that around 80% of heart diseases that happen in India are preventable.
Okay.
So that's huge if you take it into context of nurture versus nature, right? Nature is something you can't change, and that accounts for around only 20%. 80% is something that can be prevented.
That can be prevented.
That can be prevented. So 80% of premature cardiovascular diseases are something that can be prevented. So those are attributable to your lifestyle.
So, what
directly.
all does that include? Like the cardio? I'm sorry for the term,
Okay,
and I'm not able
okay.
to pronounce. But
So cardiovascular diseases means diseases of the heart, diseases of the blood vessels, and by extension, diseases of the brain, for example, stroke.
Okay.
या किसी को अगर brain hemorrhage होता है, heart attacks होते हैं किसी को.
Brain hemorrhage is also connected to heart.
So it's the same pathology that happens throughout the body, and when one system starts malfunctioning, the other systems start following suit soon. So let's say you have a blood pressure for a very, very long time, and that damages your blood vessels. So eventually you will develop, a heart attack. You might also get a stroke. It might also damage your kidneys. It might give you a liver failure also. It might also cause diabetes. Of course, everything is connected. This is a human body. It's a single closed system. It's a continuous loop. One system malfunctions, all the others follow.
So, it was said that 100 साल जीना चाहिए. So, according to your lifespan या health span?
100 साल जीने की आशा रखनी चाहिए, बट 100 साल किस तरीके से हम जिए ये भी
That
मैटर
is
करना
the
चाहिए. So, meaning that if somebody who lives up to, let's say, 80, 85, 90 years old and has debilitating diseases, cannot walk, needs support, is on a wheelchair, is on 25 medications for a good 30 years of his life. So that living, and compare that to somebody who's maybe on a couple of medications for blood pressure, that too he started 2 years before. So those differences are the differences between a lifespan and a health span. Living long is what lifespan is, but living healthier for a longer period of time is what health span is. And as a population and as a community, I think we should all focus on expanding our health span and not just the number of years.
So, and because we just spoke number of years, suddenly one thing is trending. Abhi na, all the young people are facing these heart attacks. So I have got this fear of going to the gym also. Suddenly I've heard so many people dying, as in, having this attack in the gym. So is the gym problem? Gym is a problem or there's something else?
So, movement is medicine. The gyms cannot be a problem ever.
Right.
What happens is a disease that goes unchecked, right?
Goes unchecked.
So, to understand why so many deaths are happening at such a younger age, or why so many heart attacks are happening at such a younger age, we need to understand how it happens, how it develops. Heart attacks do not happen all of a sudden. The heart attack that you are having at 50 years old started at 30 years old. So it takes a long time to develop, and a lot of time it goes underdiagnosed or undiagnosed, because we don't go in for our regular checkups, because somehow
I think
I am
most is not diagnosed ever, right?
I mean, look at the psyche of people. Two of us are sitting over here, है ना? ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि हमें कोई बीमारी होगी, है ना? I am early 40s, है ना? You are late 30s. कभी ऐसा सोचा है कि मुझे दिल की बीमारी होगी? We never think about that until unless it happens, है ना? या तो किसी करीब में किसी रिश्तेदार को होगा, या फैमिली में किसी को होगा. Unfortunately, जब हमें होता तब ख्याल आता कि अच्छा हमने तो जांच कभी कराई नहीं. Because we have this feeling that we are invincible. We are young, we are invincible. The problem is with us, especially South Asians, especially Indians. We develop heart diseases much earlier than the Western populations, the Caucasians.
Because of the lifestyle?
So there are a couple of reasons for it. So on an average, we develop it around 10 to 15 years earlier. So somebody who's an American and living in the United States gets a heart disease at 60 years old, the same person with the same characteristics in India will probably get it at 40, 45.
Why is so?
Because, again, genetics, we can't outrun it. Genetically, we are predisposed to higher belly fat. That translates into visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that surrounds your organs and causes them to malfunction, even when you're thin on the outside. So Indians are famously touted as toughies.
Yeah.
Thin outside, fat inside. That is very, very common among South Asians. We also have a very high predisposition or a very high proclivity towards insulin resistance. तो डायबिटीज़ हम सारे जानते हैं. प्री डायबिटीज़ के बारे में कोई नहीं सोचता या कोई बात नहीं करता. You got a blood test done, HbA1c is 5.7, 5.8 है ना, उसने प्री डायबिटीज़ लिख दिया. You go to your doctor, हाँ ठीक है, शुगर कंट्रोल कर लो, हो जाएगा ठीक. But if you look at the data, around 15%, 13 to 15% of Indians are diabetic. But you have around the same number of people who are pre-diabetic,
Okay.
who are at risk and who are doing nothing about their lifestyle to change it.
And
So eventually
nobody
those
checks
people, nobody checks it. No, when was the last time you had a blood checkup done?
I'm thinking कौन को टेस्ट कराना चाहिए.
So again, all of these, plus we have a lot of tendencies to store lipids. Genetically, also our bodies are more inflamed, and so all of these factors tend to develop heart disease much earlier in Indians. And on top of that, India is a developing nation. We have a lot of stress, sitting jobs. We don't move.
All this is
We eat out. There's a lot of processed food that is coming into our homes. There's a lot of packaged food that's coming into our homes.
go there.
So it's just one on top of the other. चीजें जो हैं वो एक दूसरे के ऊपर stack करते जा रही हैं, and in the end, what you get is a complete breakdown of the system.
So according to you, what test should a person do?
See,
Avoid this.
if you are an Indian living in India, everybody should get a basic health checkup done at 30 years old.
And that includes anything.
So anything, right? ये जितने corporate health checkups होते हैं, है ना? You go to any big hospital or any big hospital or any big lab, they do a full body assessment जिसमें आपके CBCs and kidney function test, liver function test, thyroid sugars, ये सारी चीज़ें उसमें measure होती हैं. Some labs also offer an extensive test that it looks at other sorts of parameters, है ना? कुछ specialized cardiac tests कराते हैं, कुछ specialized diabetic tests कराते हैं, and depending on their packages. But some sort of a testing everybody should get at 30 years old.
Okay.
But you should not get it done alone. या खुद से नहीं कराना है. You should always get it done in किसी डॉक्टर के परामर्श से या किसी डॉक्टर के सजेशन पे. Because what these tests do not take into consideration is your lifestyle. आपकी lifestyle नहीं देखते ये tests. ये आपके जेनेटिक रिस्क को नहीं देखते हैं, ये आपकी फैमिली हिस्ट्री को नहीं देखते हैं, ये आपकी बाकी बीमारियों को नहीं देखते हैं, राइट? सो दिस इज अ ब्लैंकेट स्क्रीनिंग फॉर एवरीबडी, विच इज़ गुड. एंड आई एम नॉट, डोंट misunderstand me, I'm not saying anything against, I'm not against these tests. They are a very good way of defining your baseline parameters. But there are certain tests जो कि at risk patients में, at risk individuals में हम लोग कराते हैं, that should be done in consultation with your doctor.
Because all that is also related to.
So yes, so and then that will give us your future risk, right? A lot of people ask कि heart attack कैसे होगा, है ना, कब होगा, है ना? There is,
मेरे को पता चल जाएगा कि मेरे को होने वाला है.
right, there is no way that the
There's
exact.
no test that can say that कि हो सकता है.
So there is no test that can predict a heart attack कि किस दिन या किस समय या किस second पे होगा, right? That we cannot say that. What we can reliably predict is your risk.
Okay.
That we've gotten very good
There
at.
are chances or there are no?
How high is your
How
risk
high is it?
and how likely you are, right? So we've gotten very good at that,
Okay.
at assessing that.
And the test for that is?
So a lot of tests. So we get different kinds of lipid profiles done, and there is a genetic marker called LPA that again we are very prone towards having high. There is another marker called ApoB that tells us, a different kind of a story where bad cholesterol or bad lipids are concerned. Then there are tests, of course, that everybody knows, your ECGs and your stress tests like a treadmill test or an echocardiography. And then we have imaging tests, further advanced imaging tests such as a coronary artery calcium score. Yes, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं depending on.
So that's why it's better to meet a doctor.
राइट, क्योंकि सारी
नहीं
टेस्ट
करानी.
सब पेशेंट्स में सारी टेस्ट नहीं होती हैं, दे आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. सो बेस्ड ऑन क्या आपका बेसलाइन है और क्या टेस्ट रिक्वायर्ड है, सम थिंग्स विल बी सजेस्टेड फॉर यू एंड देन वी प्रेडिक्ट योर रिस्क, है ना, कि है ना, यू आर एट रिस्क और योर रिस्क ऑफ योर 5-year रिस्क और योर 10-year रिस्क ऑफ डेवलपिंग हार्ट डिजीज इतना है, एंड देन यू स्टार्ट टेकिंग
It's serious.
it seriously. You start changing your lifestyle, you start changing your habits. If you're diabetic, you start changing, taking your medicine seriously. You start looking at your numbers.
Right.
If you're hypertensive, है ना, a lot of people don't know that they are hypertensive. BP है कि नहीं है, लोगों को ये भी नहीं पता रहता है ना?
So just to cut short, so हम लोग 30 years के हो जाए, so that is when the test should be done or before that?
So if you're thinking whether or not you should get a test done, you should get it done.
Okay. At least when you reach 30.
Whenever you want, but
Meet a
at least once once you're 30 years old, and then maybe when you meet your doctor, आपके डॉक्टर बोलेंगे कि है ना, ठीक है, हो गया सब, है ना, everything is okay, probably get it repeated 2 to 3 years. कुछ लोगों को बोला जाएगा कि नहीं, you get it done every 6 months.
Okay.
है ना, if there depends on की reports क्या आती हैं.
And I think जब तक कोई problem आता नहीं है, तो like you said, we don't go to the doctor. But then this is like a lifestyle, कि this should also be included.
So I think regular testing should be a part of routine.
Yeah.
It's
good for health.
I mean, you look at all the good companies that are hiring these days.
Yeah.
And let's talk non-medical completely. You look at all the good companies, all the international multinational companies that are operating in India.
Yes.
They require a baseline checkup for every employee these days.
In fact, now health insurance, and they are also
Yes.
offering full body.
Yes.
in
Yes.
annually or something.
So it is already a habit in the Western countries. We need to make it a habit with us also.
So, but there's one more thing. Is it feasible for all kind of people? Because ये tests are expensive हुए. तो एक general आदमी.
So see, the regular blood tests are not expensive. You get a regular panel that includes your CBC of complete blood count, kidney, liver, thyroid, sugars, right, and a cholesterol. So it will end up costing what, something around 1,500 rupees, 2,000 rupees.
And then there are hospitals who provide also
Yes.
some kind of.
Yes, yes. So there are a lot of offers. You get it done, and then then you get it tailored up with your doctor. कि अब मेरे लिए ये मेरी baseline parameters है. अब मुझे और क्या करना है और कितनी frequently करना है. Right.
लग रहा है कि आज ही जाके टेस्ट करा लो वाला. Because at least you know how likely.
See, the best heart attack is the heart attack that never happens.
Right.
The second best heart attack is the heart attack that you catch early, right? You know?
Yeah, that is
So to do that, regular assessment is required.
अभी इतना fear भी आ गया है सब में. Because of late, I think I have lost 3 of my friends, or 3 of people I know who just passed out through because of this. तो अब हर समय डर वो एक fear का तो माहौल है ही.
No. See, I think a lot of this fear is unfounded, in the sense that a lot of this fear is probably more propagated in the day and age that we are living in. है ना? The information is very easily available to us. Social media is everywhere. So it's not like कि पहले नहीं होती थी. पहले भी ये सारी चीज़ें होती थी. Young heart attacks used to happen. अवेयरनेस आता है, थोड़े तो नंबर्स बढ़े ही हैं, है ना. अवेयरनेस तो डेफिनेटली बढ़ी है, नेगेटिव अवेयरनेस बढ़ी, बट नंबर्स थोड़े इंक्रीज किए. बट आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज एनी रीजन टू बी स्केयर्ड ऑफ इट, है ना. व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड इज टू गेट अहेड ऑफ इट, है ना. एंड एंड कमिंग बैक टू योर क्वेश्चन अबाउट जिमिंग, है ना. जिमिंग से हार्ट अटैक नहीं आता है. पहले से वहाँ पे ब्लॉकेज था, पहले से वहाँ पे ब्लॉकेज बनी हुई रहती है. एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेन यू ओवर स्ट्रेस या ओवर स्ट्रेन, that makes if it is a unstable plaque, अगर वो ब्लॉकेज जो आपकी डेवलप कर रही है that is unstable, it will rupture and it will cause an abrupt end of blood supply to the heart muscle, and that is what a heart attack is. तो that can happen any time. कई बारी क्या होता है कि जिम में हम लोग ईगो लिफ्टिंग भी करते हैं, तो जो बेचारी ब्लॉकेज है ना 3-4 महीने बाद फटने वाली होती है, वो उसी समय इतना जोर लगा दिया कि वो फट गई, which has happened. There are other diseases that happen with athletes, जिसमें बहुत सारे रिदम प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, हार्ट बीट की प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं. देयर इज़ अ ग्रुप ऑफ डिजीजेस कॉल्ड कार्डियोमायोपैथीज, which is very common in athletes. So when you hear about footballers or cricketers just dropping dead, those are mainly because of cardiomyopathies. So again, those are very easy to diagnose, provided you see a doctor.
So I think that's the first step.
Yeah.
And do you think after COVID, so there's this saying जो आजकल बहुत चल भी रहा है, ये discussions बहुत चल रहे हैं कि जो vaccines लगे उसके बाद the rate of heart attacks has increased. What is your take on that?
So it's a myth.
It's a myth.
It's a complete myth. It's not true. It is not true at all.
There's so many. I've met people who have not taken, who have taken. So, and both have their different versions.
So what COVID has done is, it was at its heart, COVID was an inflammatory disease, right? And at the heart of it, a heart attack is an inflammatory disease. Okay, there's an chronic inflammation inside your blood vessels that leads to accumulation of fatty deposits and fat cells that grows over a period of time. फिर वो blockages बनाते हैं, and then वो जब फटता है तो फिर वो heart attack कराता है, which is what COVID was also. It caused a lot of inflammation inside the blood vessels.
Did you take the vaccine?
Yes, I've taken I've taken two. I've taken the vaccine. I've taken 2 boosters also. So इसीलिए people who had COVID did end up having a higher rate of cardiac issues that included heart failure and heart attacks. But that was not because of the vaccine. That was because of the disease.
So, so recently, na, I was at this pharmacy and I was buying some medicines. तो मेरे पीछे एक अंकल आए, वो बोले I think 2 tablets of Sorbitrate should be given. And just after I heard that, I was like कि मेरे को भी 2 tablets दे दीजिए. So the fear is for real. Because you know, listening so many people, yeah, किस ठीक है वो पता नहीं है कि टेस्ट कराना चाहिए and how to prevent it. So
See, Sorbitrate is a medicine which is specially given to people to dilate their blood vessels. So जैसे हम हार्ट अटैक्स वगैरह की बात करते हैं, है ना, जब ब्लॉकेजेस आती हैं, द ब्लड सप्लाई कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ होता है. लेट्स से somebody who has a 70-80% plaque एंड थोड़ा सा चलने फिरने में उनको सिम्टम्स आते हैं एंजाइना के, छाती वगैरह भारी होना शुरू हो जाता है, तो उस टाइम पे Sorbitrate, which is a short-acting nitrate, the scientific or the pharmacological term for it is a short-acting nitrate. तो Sorbitrate हम लोग देते हैं to temporarily dilate the blood vessel. तो वो blood vessel dilate होगी, blood flow improve करेगा and symptoms relief मिल जाएंगे. इसी के साथ में कुछ लॉन्ग एक्टिंग नाइट्रेट्स भी आते हैं विच आर रूटीनली प्रिस्क्राइब टू हार्ट पेशेंट्स, बट इट शुड नॉट बी टेकन लेफ्ट राइट एंड सेंटर. इट इज़ नॉट अ क्योर फॉर हार्ट अटैक्स, है ना. व्हाट इट डज इज जस्ट टेम्परली डायलेट्स द ब्लड वेसल. एट द टाइम ऑफ अ हार्ट अटैक क्या होता है, आपकी जो ब्लॉकेज होती है वो अनस्टेबल होकर फट जाती है, तो वहाँ पे ब्लड क्लॉट अक्यूमुलेट करके ब्लड वेसल को पूरी बंद कर देती है, जिससे कि ब्लड सप्लाई बंद हो जाता है. Sorbitrate उसको नहीं खोल सकता है. Sorbitrate does not work on that, right? In fact, certain kinds of heart attacks में Sorbitrate can actually worsen it. It can cause a fall in your blood pressure, and there are certain heart attacks जिसमें Sorbitrate is absolutely contraindicated, कि उसमें हमें देना ही नहीं चाहिए. So do not buy Sorbitrate until and unless it is prescribed to you by a doctor. The medicine that you can keep with you in a pocket is a medicine called aspirin. So around 300 milligrams, 325 milligrams is what is recommended in the guidelines. But अपने यहाँ 325 नहीं आता है, so 300 milligrams of aspirin pocket में रखें. अगर कभी लग रहा हो कि हार्ट अटैक आ रहा है या वैसे सिम्टम्स आ रहे हैं, देन उस एस्पिरिन को च्यू करके खाना है. च्यू करने से उसकी अब्जॉर्प्शन बेटर होती है एंड ज़्यादा फास्ट एक्ट करता है वो
थोड़े समय के लिए.
सो वॉट इट डज इट कैन हेल्प इन डिजॉल्विंग द ब्लड क्लॉट, जिसकी वजह से हार्ट अटैक हो रहा है. सो इवन अगर एक छोटी सी ओपनिंग मिल जाती है एंड ब्लड सप्लाई इज रीस्टोर्ड टिल द टाइम मेडिकल हेल्प इज हाँ, आपको मेडिकल हेल्प मिल जाता है ना, इट कैन एक्चुअली सेव योर मसल. A lot of people carry other medicines in their pocket. I would advise against it. There are no guidelines for it, because then again those medicines may cause bleeding, have very high bleeding risk.
So aspirin is
what is recommended by all the guidelines. वो अपने पास रखें, और अगर ऐसा लगता है कि हार्ट अटैक हो रहा हो, just chew 1 tablet and immediately go to the hospital. Get an ECG done. उसी में पता चल जाएगा कि हार्ट अटैक है कि नहीं. Of course there are other tests जो कि फिर होते हैं, but a simple ECG can reliably tell you.
And what are the steps to do? You know, कि किसी को लग रहा है कि अटैक आया है. Any way that can be, or anything that can be done तुरंत for the golden hour problem.
So when you talk about golden hour treatment, the golden hour treatment is treatment when you get it within the first 60 minutes, right? And we always, we love our, phrases in cardiology, time is muscle. So what it means is, if there is a heart attack happening and you open the artery that is causing it, the blocked artery that is causing it, if you open it within the first 60 minutes, you can have absolutely complete resolution of the disease with no residual damage. So पहले घंटे में अगर उस नस को खोल देते हैं तो हार्ट मसल की डैमेज जो होती है वो परमानेंट होने से बच जाती है. दैट इज़ व्हाट गोल्डन आवर ट्रीटमेंट इज़. विथ एवरी पासिंग मिनट आफ्टर दैट द चांसेस ऑफ परमानेंट डैमेज इंक्रीज. 12 घंटे के बाद अगर किसी की नस खोली जाती है तो फिर उसको डैमेज को रिवर्स करने के चांसेस काफ़ी कम हो जाते हैं. सो गोल्डन आवर ट्रीटमेंट में नंबर 1 एस्पिरिन के बारे में हमने बात की. नंबर 2 कॉल एन एम्बुलेंस. गो इमीडिएटली टू हॉस्पिटल. बिकॉज हार्ट अटैक के लिए घर पे आप ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं जिससे
वो ठीक है.
वो मरीज़ ठीक हो सके. इनफैक्ट घर पे जितना टाइम आप वेस्ट करेंगे उतना उनके कॉम्प्लिकेशन होने की रिस्क बढ़ जाएगी.
So one is aspirin, second is
कॉल एन एम्बुलेंस.
okay.
कॉल एन एम्बुलेंस.
So there's nothing to be done on the patient.
नहीं. सो अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज हार्ट अटैक के टाइम पे द हार्ट सडनली स्टॉप्स बीटिंग, है ना. इन द सेंस इसे कई बार लोग हार्ट फेलियर भी बोलते हैं, बट द करेक्ट वर्ड फॉर इट इज कार्डियक अरेस्ट.
Right.
सो टू बी वेरी वेरी पेडेंटिक अबाउट इट, है ना, बत्ती गुल, राइट, ट्रांसफार्मर उड़ जाता है हार्ट का. सो सब चीज़ चलते चलते अचानक से एवरीथिंग स्टॉप्स. द हार्ट स्टॉप्स बीटिंग, इट स्टॉप्स पंपिंग ब्लड. सो उस केस में व्हाट एवरीबडी शुड डू इज लर्न हाउ टू डू अ CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR. CPR can save a life till the time
You
the
reach
patient
medical.
reaches a hospital and handed over to expert medical staff. CPR can save a life because that maintains blood supply to the vital organs. It maintains blood supply to the brain, to the kidneys, to your heart itself.
And everybody should learn.
Everybody should learn how to do it. It is a very rare complication of a heart attack. I think I would say around 10% of people who have a heart attack go into a cardiac arrest. But if it happens and somebody who knows a CPR can perform a CPR on the patient, it can save a life.
That is.
That is it. That is it.
Then
You
just go to
can't
the
do
doctor.
anything else. You have to let the experts handle it.
And what is the difference between a heart attack and a panic attack?
Okay, so see, that's a very
कैसे चलेगा कि-
that is a very deep question.
Because, अभी दोनों हो रहे हैं.
So see, sometimes it's very hard to say because in extreme forms of panic attack, it actually has physical manifestations. You'll get all the classical physical signs of a heart attack. छाती में दर्द होगा, पसीने आएंगे, घबराहट होगी, है ना, और ऐसा लगेगा कि नहीं बस हार्ट अटैक आ ही रहा है. A lot of times, severe panic attack can also cause
Heart
pseudo heart attacks जिसको बोलते हैं, है ना. It can cause an increase in your blood marker levels जो हम लोग हार्ट अटैक के लिए यूज़ करते हैं. इतना स्ट्रेस हो जाता है हार्ट के ऊपर that it can cause heart failure also,
Okay.
right? So sometimes even for the most seasoned physicians, it is very difficult to tell the difference. Until unless पेशेंट को हम लोग फिजिकली एग्जामिन करते हैं, उनके रिपोर्ट्स आती हैं, यू फॉलो देम अप फॉर अ कपल ऑफ आवर्स, समटाइम्स अ कपल ऑफ डेज, ओनली देन कैन इट बी रिलायबली, हाँ, डिफरेंस पता चल सकता है.
Again, call the doctor, meet the doctor, go to the hospital.
Yes, I mean, see,
Extreme है.
हाँ, see, what I would say is because heart attacks are so damaging to both life and quality of life,
Right.
and a lot of people, even after recovering from the procedure, have a very bad quality of life for the rest of their lives. So because heart attacks are so notorious on life, just not discount, है ना, पैनिक अटैक को पैनिक अटैक बोल के डिस्काउंट ना करें.
Right.
राइट, गेट इट इवेलुएटेड. अगर आपके किसी डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया कि हाँ नहीं ये हार्ट अटैक नहीं है, पैनिक अटैक है, देन स्लोली एंड स्टेडीली यू लर्न टू एज अ केयर गिवर ऑफ समबडी हुज हैविंग अ पैनिक अटैक. मान लीजिए अगर घर वाले लोग की हम बात करते हैं, है ना, सो ओवर अ कोर्स ऑफ टाइम फिर वो घर वालों को थोड़ा सा हिंट्स पता चलने लग जाते हैं कि पैनिक अटैक क्या होता है. एंड देन व्हेन जब असल में किसी को हार्ट अटैक आता है या सही में किसी को हार्ट अटैक आएगा, देन यू कैन नो द डिफरेंस.
Yeah.
You can always tell the difference. You can always tell the difference.
I think this is one confusion that might happen, and second is very common, acidity. वो जो acidity का pain है, या again it's a heart disease pain, attack pain.
You would not believe how many patients we get after after 3-4 days of an acidity जो आते हैं है ना, and we do an echo and a cardiac enzymes and an ECG on them, and the heart attack has already come and passed, and the muscle is severely damaged. You will not believe the number of patients who just pass it off as acidity, and this is especially true for diabetic patients because diabetic patients have
टेंडेंसी
नहीं, उनमें क्या होता है, अनकॉमन सिम्टम्स ज़्यादा होते हैं. सो एसिडिटी इज़ वन सिम्टम जो होने लगता है. शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रेथ, घबराहट, है ना, ये सारी चीज़ें होने लगती है. वो जो छाती में दर्द, जो क्लासिकल साइन बताते हैं कि हम छाती में भारीपन लग रहा है या दर्द लग रहा है या यहाँ रेडिएट हो रहा है, जॉ तक जा रहा है, ये नहीं होता. विमेन अगेन yes. So again, women have uncommon symptoms. Mostly जो women आती हैं, they feel a sense of impending doom कि नहीं, मेरे साथ कुछ अच्छा नहीं हो रहा, कुछ तो गड़बड़ हुआ है. They will not be able to pinpoint कि क्या हुआ है या क्या symptoms हैं. Something also because women usually क्या होता है, they ignore
थिंग
their symptoms for such a long time. We have couples come in, uncle aunties आते हैं, है ना, and the auntie is like नहीं, आप पहले अंकल का देख लो, मेरा बाद में देखेंगे, है ना. आंटी का बीपी 180 चल रहा है, बट नहीं, मेरी दवाई बाद में से, पहले अंकल का देखो.
बीपी plays an important role for that attack. No.
So I mean, yeah, blood pressure. No, so blood pressure definitely is one of the risk factors of developing a heart attack in future because it damages your blood vessels. Extra pressure पे अगर blood को pump करना पड़ता है, that creates unnatural forces inside the blood vessels, जिसके कारण वो उनका wear and tear ज़्यादा होता है. And therefore, in the long run, वैसे patients में heart attack का risk ज़्यादा होता है. Definitely. So again, coming back to acidity. I would say कि किसी भी एसिडिटी को एसिडिटी ना समझें until unless किसी डॉक्टर ने बोला है कि हाँ एसिडिटी है. And by doctor I mean a cardiologist, because see, these things are very nuanced and seasoned doctors also miss it. It is missed and misdiagnosed all the time, and because इसमें डॉक्टर की भी गलती नहीं है, because कई बारी दोनों में अंतर करना just based on symptoms without advanced testing is not possible.
But then, so acidity is kind of common in Indian especially, you know, maybe the kind of food, the lifestyle. तो सबसे पहले अगर acidity ही है, how do you differentiate? If one, उसका medicine खा के it should go down, the pain should, you know, normalize, and if it is not normalizing, तब वो heart का होगा. नहीं तो फिर तो every second there will be somebody coming.
So see, this is where we come. We talk about preventive care. So let's say if we have your baseline numbers and हमने let's say somebody I would treat the symptoms very differently in somebody who's a 30-year-old and somebody who's a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? 30-year-old coming with the same symptoms, उनका जो differential diagnosis बनता है, it's all about कि list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 है ना. Every doctor has that list कि अच्छा ये symptoms है तो सबसे probability, first probability this, second probability this, third probability this. So a list of 5 diagnosis है ना, कि सबसे पहले ये हो सकता है, ये नहीं होगा तो ये होगा, ये होगा तो नहीं हो, ये होता है ना. And then it depends कि आपके evaluation में क्या निकलता है, right? So वो differential diagnosis, somebody presenting with the same symptoms at a different age group will be different,
Right.
from this person to that person, right? And let's say when I know कि we've gotten your CT angio done at let's say 40 years old, and you come back with symptoms that are very suggestive of
It might be कि heart का हो सकता. So for example, you know, by the great grace of God, till now I have not experienced any heart disease, but then I have pain at times. ठीक है, for example. And I remember once getting the ECG also done, and I WhatsApped you only.
Right.
And then
right.
you told it's nothing. So, not every time, you know, a person can go and get the test done. Or
Yes.
they should.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Running to the emergency again and again to get an ECG done is a Herculean task, and it should not be done. Medicine should not be a knee-jerk reaction, right?
Right.
And that is where you have to trust your doctor.
Okay.
So जैसे आपने एक बार मुझे मैसेज किया था कि मुझे ये दिक्कत हो रही है, and we did not do a physical examination because I think उस समय कोविड भी चल रहा था and physical distancing भी था. So because है ना, आई हैड टू नो कि वेदर और नॉट इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ हो रही कि नहीं हो रही, सो वी सजेस्टेड कि आप जाके एक ईसीजी करा लो. यू गॉट एन ईसीजी डन, योर सिम्टम्स डिसअपियर्ड. ठीक है. एंड देयरफॉर बेस्ड ऑन ऑल दी अदर इंफॉर्मेशन दैट आई गॉट फ्रॉम यू, है ना, हमने कहा कि चलो ठीक है ना, इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा और टेंशन करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. सो आपको खुद पता रहेगा कि सी दिस इज़ व्हाट माय एसिडिटी फील्स लाइक,
Okay.
राइट.
So you have to
उससे अलग कुछ भी होगा अगर,
तो पहुंच जाना है.
उससे अगर अलग कुछ भी होगा, देन यू हैव टू
You have to get it
कम
done.
बैक अगेन.
Yeah. But I think this might be the most common issue that
एसिडिटी सबको होती है ना. आवर फूड इज सच, वी आर अ वेरी
The
कार्ब,
lifestyle.
वी आर अ वेरी कार्ब हैवी नेशन.
हाँ.
Our food is a very carb heavy food, and breakfast, lunch and dinner, hardly carbs. तो इसीलिए थोड़ा सा तो एसिडिटी एंड डिस्पेप्सिया एंड ब्लोटिंग रहती है.
So doctor, you're wearing Whoop, right? So is it helping you in any way?
So I love wearables as a technology. I love the idea that you can have a device on you that tracks a lot of things. Right now, wearables are very good at tracking your exercise.
Steps.
हाँ, मतलब अगर if you are heavily into exercising and आप fitness वगैरह अपना monitor करना चाहते हैं, your wearables are I think they've reached the pinnacle of that. है ना, कि फिटनेस को कैसे मेजर करना है ना, योर VO2 max and your resting heart rate and your heart rate variability. As far as cardiology goes, wearables are very good at two things right now. Number one is to diagnose a disease called atrial fibrillation, which is an irregular heart rhythm. Your heart starts
The
beating. Heartbeat your heart starts beating irregularly. So that is already a validated instrument on your wearables now. It got validated with the Apple Watch. There was a big study, if you would have heard about it, it's called the Apple Heart Study. 85,000 participants.
Okay.
Yes, so it was a huge study and it was a groundbreaking study, which was again sponsored by Apple for its Apple Watch. But that was the groundbreaking study for wearables. So wearables can now easily diagnose your irregular heart rhythm, which is atrial fibrillation. Again, there are many kinds of irregular heart rhythms that can happen in the body, but atrial fibrillation is one disease which they have excelled in diagnosing. The other thing that they can look at very reliably these days is your blood pressure. So they cannot
That's reliable,
very accurately tell you what your blood pressure is.
but abroad.
But if your readings are higher than usual, then they'll give you a warning signal. Then you get it checked. The thing with blood pressure is nobody knows they have high blood pressure until and unless they get it measured. 80% of patients who present to us with a high blood pressure have no symptoms. People think कि symptoms आएंगे, सर में दर्द होगा, आँख भारी होगा, छाती में भारीपन लगेगा, है ना? But for most patients, these symptoms never appear. So that is where the wearables are again a blessing in disguise, है ना? हो सकता है कि आपका blood pressure बढ़ा हुआ आए, हो सकता है ना आए. But the thing is they send you for a checkup. Is what the prompt is these days. So I'm very happy and I'm looking forward कि आगे ये wearables क्या कर सकते हैं. What people use the wearables these days wrongly is to take an ECG.
Yeah, so that was my next question.
हाँ, so chest pain हुआ, एक ECG ले लिया, right? It will not diagnose anything.
So don't do that.
It will not diagnose anything. The reason that ECG strip or that ECG function is there is again to diagnose your atrial fibrillation. So you can take your strip to your doctor, है ना, and then he can look at that and हाँ चलो ठीक है, rhythm irregular चल रही है. But it cannot diagnose the nuances that you see on an ECG in case of a heart attack. Maybe someday.
Yeah. So so how does BP, as in blood pressure, and cholesterol affect the heart health?
So blood pressure is known as the silent killer, the biggest silent killer of our century, because symptoms पता नहीं चलते, हमें पता चलता नहीं है. लोग आते हैं ब्लड प्रेशर, रैंडम वॉक-इन्स इन द क्लिनिक, है ना, ब्लड प्रेशर मशीन रखी हुई है, उन्होंने ब्लड प्रेशर चेक कराया, बढ़ा हुआ आया, कह रहे डॉक्टर आपकी मशीन ख़राब है, मेरा बीपी तो कभी हाई नहीं रहा है. तो डिड यू गेट इट चेक्ड एवर? नहीं, हमने कभी चेक नहीं कराया, मुझे कभी सिम्टम्स ही नहीं हुए. And so that is a misconception that a lot of us have. In fact, the data also supports that. In India, there are around 35 to 40% of people that have hypertension, which means if you look around us, 1 in 3 people will have hypertension, and out of all those people, 50% do not know that they have hypertension.
And that is because of the
That is because it works that way. Blood pressure works that way. It by the time symptoms develop, you might have had a stroke. A stroke very often, and a stroke and a paralysis. A stroke is when the blood supply to the brain is cut off, just like a heart attack is when the blood supply to the heart cuts off. So a lot of times, the first presentation of high blood pressure is a stroke or a heart attack, or a heart attack.
so it plays a very major.
Oh yes, oh yes. If you're over the age of 30 years, get your blood pressure checked.
So I think after
At least
30,
once a year.
a lot of
Yes.
you should keep a check on
Yes.
yourself.
Your body starts reaching a plateau. So by the age of 30 years, your body is growing, and by once you hit 30, it starts reaching a plateau, and then the decline starts once you hit 40, 45. And then you'll find that you can't keep up muscle also, and you start losing muscle mass also after 40 if you're not exercising regularly. So there are certain changes that happen in the body in these decades. So for us Indians, 30 is the limit of the age limit where you should start taking your health seriously.
इसको लग रहा है क्या क्या मेरे को so many things to do after I get back.
No, the only thing that you need to do is call your cardiologist and set up an appointment. Leave the rest to him or her.
And cholesterol.
So again, cholesterol. When people talk about cholesterol, okay, let's do this in two parts. I feel cholesterol has gotten a bad reputation.
Okay.
I would be very, very skeptical and very watchful of the excess carbs that we are eating, not the fat that we are eating, right?
Right.
So, of course, the body fat, the fat that is going inside your blood vessels, traditionally हम लोगों ने स्कूल में सीखा good fat and bad fat, right? The good fat is your HDL, the bad fats are your LDL. In Indians, there is another kind of fat which is called triglycerides that creeps up, and that has to do with our fooding habits. You know, we were discussing this before during the break, that our fooding habits are carb heavy. Parathe in the morning, and Marwadi घरों में you have aloo ki sabzi kachoriya in the morning, right? Your lunch again is also very carb heavy. Your dinner is also carb heavy. So what that does is it creates increased insulin resistance. It forces your liver to work overtime. It forces your liver to store that excess carb in form of fat. And then that fat from the liver is released as triglycerides into the bloodstream, which then destroys your blood vessels. It causes inflammation. It gets accumulated inside the blood vessels, starts causing plaques that later on cause a heart attack. Right? So more than the fat. And I think this is due to some research that came out in the late 70s and early 80s, जहाँ पे बलि चढ़ा अंडा कि अंडा मत खाओ, है ना? Don't have eggs. Eggs are high in fat. So be careful of the carbs, the processed carbs, simple carbs. But having said that, be mindful of the oils and the saturated fats that you are also taking. That plays a role, a smaller role today.
Okay.
So a lot of people have started removing out, yellows from their eggs also. There's a lot of debate about oil kaun sa use kare, है ना? Everybody is after extra virgin olive oil, है ना? It's so expensive, है ना? Not everybody can afford it. So use the oil as it is intended. Right? If you're using an extra virgin olive oil to fry your parathas or fry your kachoris, that olive oil is worth nothing. वो उसकी जितनी अच्छी properties थी, they are already gone. They are already smoked up.
Mindfully.
So when you are frying stuff, use an oil that has a high smoking point, a high heat point. If you are using cold pressed oils such as olive oil or avocado oil or even cold pressed groundnut oil, they are best used for for rotis and not deep frying stuff. Then there you have the ghee and coconut oil bhi hai.
I think ghee has become a trending topic.
Again,
Ghee is the best, ऐसा लोग बोलते हैं.
हाँ, but ghee is the best, but उसमें पराठे, हाँ, उसमें पराठे डुबा के नहीं निकालने हैं.
Right.
Ghee is the best. Ghee is nice, and it gives a very nice flavor, and I like having ghee in my parathas and roti. But then only that it should be had as a condiment. It
Not
shouldn't
as
be,
a-
it shouldn't be,
another
it shouldn't be your
dish.
banquet meal.
Right.
Right. Stay away from saturated oils such as dalda, है ना? Those are very, very high in saturated fats. So those are absolutely no. Everything else, just pick and choose. Use the oil that you like and use it the way it is intended to be. We forget sarson ka tel. We use sarson ka tel. We've been using it sarson ka tel for since centuries.
Yeah, centuries.
And works pretty well for us. If you're using sarson ka tel and if you like it, like the taste, there's no point switching to extra virgin olive oil.
No, of course. So yes. So so there was a time where people were doing keto diets. This is just one of the diets that I'm talking about. Then water diet and so many other diets. What do you suggest for a good start?
So see, I am not a big fan of crash diets personally. There are certain diets that can help certain patient groups. If you're looking to do a certain, let's say if you're looking to lose a certain number of kilos in a certain given period of time, maybe a diet can help you. But no crash diet is sustainable in the long run,
Right.
which is why I'm not a big fan of them.
A
It
good
might,
balanced diet.
it might give you a crashed a dieting regime, है ना? So let's say a lot of people do an 8-hour, 16-hour fasting diet, right?
Yeah.
You eat for 8 hours and then you stay hungry for 16 hours.
Right.
So that works for some people as long as you stick to it. If you look at our Jainis, the Jain population in our country, they follow the same diet. Right? They eat for 8 hours and at the essence of it, Suryodaya se Suryast tak khate hain, and then after the sun goes down, they don't eat, which follows the basic principle that your body needs time to recover and rest. So I would not call that a crash diet. That is a lifestyle, right? And they follow it very vehemently. So any diet that can be a part of your lifestyle is something that you should explore. But any crash diet or a dieting regime that you're doing for a short-term gain and is not reproducible in the long run, वो long run में फिर वो खराब ही करेगी. आपने crash diet करके 5 या 10 kilos कम किया, and then eventually once you stop that, and you will eventually stop it, whether you stop it in 15 days or 2 months, it's only a matter of time. जब आप उसको बंद करेंगे, your cravings come back and you end up gaining more weight than what your original weight was.
Yes. So good balanced diet,
That can be sustainable in a long run.
but less
Yeah.
of carbs.
So high protein diet, when I say high protein diet, a normal individual needs somewhere between 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if you're an athlete or if you're training for an ultra marathon, you might require more than that. But 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of good. Your body needs fat also. So an oil-free diet is not recommended because a lot of hormones and a lot of proteins in our body are connected to fats. Fat is the traveler. They travel through fats. So fat is also important for the body. At a lesser amount, try for clean fats, try for polyunsaturated and monounsaturated for MUFAs and PUFAs, and a complex carbohydrate diet, and not something that is not that does not have additives, that is not refined. Now, so if you are eating parathas or rotis, aim for whole wheat, whole grain instead of maidas. Whole gram. Go for a whole balanced diet that is clean, that is nutritious, and a lot of people confuse nutritious with organic. Not everybody has access to organic food, and organic is the go-to word in social media these days. But A wholesome diet,
A wholesome.
something that has good macros and micros, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, as much color as you can have. You know, a lot of greens, a lot of yellows, reds,
Green.
oranges. Yes, yes. So those are good for the heart. Let's not forget the importance of fibers also.
Right.
So again, you get that from the grains, the whole grains that you have, or the fruits that you have,
So
or the
kind of
vegetables that you
balanced
have.
diet is like the go-to
Yes,
regime.
yes. And then, portion control. That is where a lot of us fail.
Yeah.
मुझे लगता है कि हम हेल्दी खा रहे हैं तो हम कितना भी खा सकते हैं. You have to portion control. So that is what you have to look at. So that is where your diet becomes something that you can sustain for a long period of time, and then you always have to उसको you have to जोड़ोफाई. So you have to add exercises or an active lifestyle to it also.
मतलब थोड़ा workout movement
थोड़ा
है कि
सा,
उसमें.
some sort of movement is required.
Okay.
Required.
And does smoking, vaping, alcohol plays some kind of role for
A big role.
a big
A big role. So as a doctor, we would say no to any tobacco product. That includes chewing tobacco. So कई बारी क्या होता है, पेशेंट्स आते क्लिनिक में, वी आस्क देम सिगरेट पीते हो? नहीं. बाद में पता चलता कि नहीं हम बीड़ी पीते. आपसे पूछा था, आपने बताया नहीं सर, आपने तो सिगरेट के लिए पूछा था. So any sort of tobacco, inhalational or chewing tobacco is a strict no-no. बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि हुक्का is going through a water and water is a natural filter, so the smoke that is coming out
is normal.
is a very clean smoke and it does not stay in your lungs. There is nothing like that. Vaping again, because it was so big in the Western countries and it became so popular so quickly,
Yeah.
that it was sort of socially accepted. But now we are seeing all the horror stories.
Yes.
That the kind of damage it does to the lungs is even more severe than smoking. It's still, I mean, the long-term data is still to come कि vaping के कारण कैंसर होता है कि नहीं होता है. But I'm sure कि it's a smoke inhalational injury, तो कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा ही. So tobacco in any form is no. Alcohol is interesting because a lot of times people ask me कि there has been research that shows कि alcohol follows a J curve. When I say a J curve, it means कि at certain level of alcohol your risk starts falling, especially your cardiovascular risk starts falling, and then it starts increasing after a certain number of pegs. And people always quote the French as a population that are such a heavy wine drinker. And I look at the French, wine is a
Better.
wine is a part of their culture, and they live such long lives. But अभी क्या हुआ है, अभी a lot of research has come that says that proves कि not even a single drop of alcohol is good for your body. So if you're a heavy drinker, the guidelines recommend that you moderate your drinking, which means कि आप moderation में alcohol लीजिए. Do not binge drink. Do not drink every day. As a sort of measure to wean you off the alcohol path. But if you haven't tasted a drink in your life, there is no reason to
do it.
that. Yeah.
So it's better to be avoiding.
Yeah, but see, I mean,
मतलब जो जितना avoid कर सकते.
the kind of a society that we live in,
Yeah.
all of these things are very hunky-dory when we sit down and talk about it. But when we go out and we meet our friends, very difficult to actually put into practice.
Yeah.
The idea at the end of the day is to have a balanced lifestyle, right? And now you can't help the air
do
pollution,
anything
right?
extreme.
Right. You can't help the air pollution. In an ideal world, we will be living in a pollution with an AQI of 0. Right? So we can't help that. But because there are so many external factors that affect our health, it is up to us to control what we can.
Right.
वैसे तो कहते हैं कि 8 घंटे सोना चाहिए, Now you ask any medical student, you ask any student, class 12 के बच्चे से पूछ लो वो कहाँ बेचारा 8 घंटा सो पाएगा, right? It's not possible. So then you lose some there, but then you have to gain some somewhere else.
Right. So just a balance.
Just a balanced lifestyle is important. Excess of anything is bad. Anything is bad. But there are certain things that should absolutely not be touched. Tobacco is one such thing. Absolutely not to be touched ever.
Okay. I think so that's a big message. So a lot of people will, I think your friends will also might.
I mean, see, it's a
It's a lifestyle choice. But
it's a lifestyle choice. But see, we've banned so many things
yeah.
that we know are not good for our health
Why is tobacco never banned?
because it brings in big money.
Yeah, but then
It brings in big money everywhere.
right.
It is. It's not for the governments to stop it. It's up to us to say no to tobacco.
So, doctor, any message for our viewers? One, I think one message for people in their 20s.
Okay. So there's a very interesting number, 3 billion.
Yeah.
3 billion is the number of heartbeats that the heart of an average person will beat for the entire lifetime. If you're in your 20s or your 30s, you've already spent 1 billion of your heartbeats. So how we use the remaining 2 billion is up to us. So number one is exercising. When we talk about exercising, do a mix of both cardio and strength training twice a week, mixed in with zone 2 cardio. Number two would be clean eating, have a balanced diet, focus on clean, wholesome foods, avoid processed foods as much as we can, avoid extra carbs or added carbs as much as we can. Rest is also important. So sleep is one part of the resting gamut. 7 to 8 hours of sleep if we can manage that. And the other part of rest is reducing stress. So any way that we can reduce stress, meet friends, go out, listen to music, watch a movie, yoga, meditation, anything that you can do to reduce your stress levels, do that. So number 5 is tobacco. Say no to any form of tobacco. So no hookahs, no cigarettes, no vaping, and no chewable forms of tobacco also. All right. And sixth pillar or sixth thing that you can do for your heart and for yourself is to get a health checkup done. If you are over the age of 30, get a checkup done. If you have certain risk factors or if you are at a higher risk, that you are at a higher risk, then get the checkup done in consultation with a doctor. We are an important but a very, very minute part of your health. Realize that the first 5 pillars of your health and your healthy cardiac journey are absolutely free and totally dependent on you.
Right. And one last message, probably people above 50.
So people above 50, I would probably say get a blood test, a general blood test done every 6 months, and get a doctor consultation done every year if you are healthy. If you have diseases, then know your numbers. Okay, know what your normal blood pressure numbers are. Blood pressure of 140 over 90 is not normal. It is a high blood pressure. Know what your sugar numbers are. Know what your cholesterol numbers are. Keep them under check. That is the single best thing that you can do. So my final message before I leave you is don't let your first heart checkup be after your first heart attack.
I think that was very important. And so, doctor, how can we, if somebody wants to meet you, consult you, how can they get in touch?
So I'm available at my clinic. My clinic is at Kacheri Road. It's behind Gopal Complex, ground floor of MR Tower. I'm also available at Rinchi Trust Hospital every day in the afternoon. You can also reach out to me on my social media page. I have an Instagram page, which is the handle is dr_mahansaria_cardiologist, and plus my clinic numbers is something that will be shared through the proper channels. Yeah.
Thank you so much, doctor. It was great having you today. And I think a very important and a very trending topic. So, सबको इंतजार का इस topic का that when will we get something like this, and coming from an expert from you. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure
great
being
having
here.
you.
It's my pleasure being here. Thank you so much for giving me the time and the opportunity.
So we had an amazing shoot. बहुत ही अच्छा रहा. And आज हमने जाना कि the best heart attack is the heart attack that never happens. And we are at Titanium Autos BMW. In fact, they also believe that excellence is driven by passion, whether it's in healthcare or on the road. So thank you everyone. For more information, keep following us, keep watching us at SBH Studios, and take good care of yourself. Thank you.